Hey guys, I'm back in the shop this morning, trying to catch up on a few things with my small engine stuff. I've got a Makita DPC 7311, and it's a beast. It's not running. A guy gave it to me that or wanted me to work on it. A customer that I work on quite a bit for. So this one is a new one for me. So I'm just going to start taking it apart and go till I find something that looks bad and try to figure it out. More than likely it's carburetor issues. Same thing, most all of them are. But the covers and all the other stuff that hold it together are quite a bit different than what I'm used to working on. So we're just gonna learn together as we go. And it's a well-built machine for sure. I'm sure it's a very high dollar unit. I've been thinking about a video that I want to do. I stumbled across another problem the other day with a spark plug from Amazon. The little old cheap import spark plugs that come with the carburetor kits. You've probably seen them if you like to work on stuff like that. I have used multiple kits that come with a plug, and most of them work fine. But in 3 different cases over the last year of me fooling with this small engine stuff, I found out that if you have a weed eater, a saw, or whatever, a 2-stroke that has a bog at about half the RPM range, you need to consider, if you've done a new carburetor exchange or either rebuilt the one you got, and for whatever reason use a spark plug like a cheap import that come from Amazon. If you use one of them, there's a chance that that plug will not fire past a certain RPM for whatever reason. I don't know. I can't get technical talking about a spark plug, but the reason I say this, and I'll do a whole video on you can pull the spark plug boot off of the end of the plug, but still leave it hanging and make the plug wire jump to the plug, and it makes the fire hotter, I'm assuming. The longer jump of fire makes the fire hotter at the end of the plug. When you do that, the engine will run up to normal RPM. If you put that boot back on the plug and try to run it up, it'll go up to a certain RPM and bog like it's a carburetor issue. And you will fight the carburetor for no reason until you get tired of fooling with it, and it will never overcome the plug issue. So I hadn't seen or heard anybody talk about this, so I'm going to try to do a video that helps somebody understand. If you've done this at home in your own shop and you've changed out a carburetor with a little cheap Amazon carburetor or maybe an eBay carburetor, if it comes with one of those little cheap plugs, it don't even have a brand on it. It just gives a number. If you change them out and the running of your machine starts bogging like something is bad wrong, don't automatically assume carburetor issues. So I think this is something that I've run across that maybe others hadn't caught or something. I don't know. Surely I'm not the only one that knows about it, but the first time I noticed it, I didn't really believe that's what it was, so I went ahead and changed the plug. I thought something might have just happened, and it got right. The next time I thought, well, that's odd. This is doing the same thing another one I had done like months before. And then just the other day at the shop, a friend of mine brought in a weed eater for me to look at because he had just changed out brand new carburetor, brand new fuel lines, brand new fuel filter, everything new on a machine, on a weed eater that was not even all that old. And had a bog issue, couldn't get it to run. So I got to thinking about it throughout the day, and I said, I wonder if that's the third one that I've experienced do this. So I told him to bring me the original plug that they pulled out of the weed eater. So the next day he brings me the plug. I'm sorry. Just as a trial run, I pulled the boot halfway off the spark plug, cranked it, and it ran wide open. So I went and showed him, and I told him to bring me the original plug the next day. He brought me the original plug. We pulled the new one out, put the old one back in after it was cleaned up good, fired it, it runs wide open. And then we was able to fine tune the carburetor. So this is something that's apparently a thing with the cheap spark plugs. So what I've done in my business is anytime I repair or fix a carburetor, even if I ask the customer, do they want a cheap fix for the repair, and I put an Amazon carburetor on it, I do not run whatever plug comes with the kit. If the plug comes with the kit, I throw it away. I don't even use it. I will put the factory plug that the machine come with. I'll look up whatever that is and put the factory plug back in the machine. So I do use whatever the factory plug is that come in it. That's what I put back in it when I get the carburetor like I want it. So again, I'll probably still, I'm just going to let this be a little something for you to hear, but I'm going to do if I can find one that will mess up, the next time I find one, I'll do a video of it not running. I'll pull the boot half off, show you that it will run, and then put a new plug in it like it's supposed to have, and crank it and run it wide open. So that'll be something that's upcoming here sometime though. But right now we're working on this Makita. This thing has a superior filter mechanism on it. I want you to look at the filter that comes with this saw. Looks like something out of a car. Alright guys, I don't want to break anything on this thing, so I'm gonna have to look up a little information. I'll bring you right back. Alright guys, I got this thing out. Maybe get it where you can see it. This is a mess right here. So the gas lines look good. I'm gonna try to find the filter and pull this carburetor apart, double check it, make sure it's clean, and trying to get a little better with the camera. I ordered my first tripod, so I'm fighting with it a little bit, but it helps me out a little bit. So anyway, I just wanted to show you. Normally this stuff comes off, you can just pull the carburetor off, but this has all kind of air box, all kind of other stuff with it. It was kind of concerning at first, but I don't think I got anything messed up where I can't put it back. But this is definitely a new one on me. Never pulled a Makita Saw apart before, so just learning as we go. So you can come along with me. But anyway, I'm gonna shut it down right here, and I'll bring you back in a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. This is the carburetor off that Makita Saw. Just getting the screws out. I hadn't taken any of this apart yet. Maybe we'll find a little dirt or debris we can clean out. Make us feel better about the change. Or about the repair. On this particular carburetor, the back side right here has to lock in. That little fork right there on the end of the needling seat. Let me get something smaller you can see with. Right here where the needling seat works, the float hooks in that little C-clip right there. This is a lot bigger carburetor than what's on normal, like 50cc saws or 40cc saws. This is nearly a 80cc saw, I think. I think it's 75 or better, I think. It's pretty clean. I don't really see much in it, but we'll take the needle out of it just to make sure. And I hadn't taken apart the other side yet. But at first glance, everything looks pretty good. Man, that thing is tight. Let me see if I can find a better screwdriver. I'll be right back. So I'm back. I put a brand new bit in this magnetic screwdriver head I got here. See if it feels any better. Oh yeah. I usually just push down on that whole mechanism so nothing comes flying out. Just pay attention to the little spring. The needle's nice and clean. I don't really see any dirt or debris anywhere. this diaphragm is still plenty pliable, best I can tell. We're gonna put it back together. Just remember to hook that little clip in there. And we'll flip it over and take the other side off and see what it looks like. I'm not hitting this hard. It may look harder to y'all than it really is. Well, there's always going to be one stuck. Try not to tear this gasket. I don't have another one this big. I've got a little small brass hammer I use at work, but I don't have one at home. I need to make me one. Maybe we didn't tear anything. Thank you, Lord. Okay, now this one has a little more crud inside. Trying to ease this gasket off. Definitely more grit and crud on this side, and that little screen right here, it's full of crud. I don't know if you can see that or not. So we'll clean this off good. Yeah, you can see it right here, look. That's got that screen completely full. So we'll clean this up good, put it back together, and do a test fire, see what happens. I've done checked on the fuel lines. They're good. Fuel line's good. Fuel filter is good. I blew it out good. I didn't have one that size, so I just put it back on for now. If we see that this does good or makes a change, I may end up buying a kit for the carburetor and going ahead and doing it really good. Right now we're just trying to clean it to see if it's going to actually start or not. So I'm going to stop it right there. I'll clean all this up, put it back together, and then I'll bring you back.